class, this is Miss Bacon, and here is my lecture for Chapter 6, all about PowerPoint. So just like Microsoft Word, PowerPoint is another program in the Microsoft Office suite, and you'll notice a lot of similarities between the two different programs because they belong to the same suite. So I'm going to focus in on the commands within each tab. And I wanted to start with the File tab because I think here, I just wanted to show you how it's different. So the one thing that's a big difference is if you go to New, you have here, the templates look a lot different. They're PowerPoint presentations. So this is a really nice area to select really nice templates for free. So we have lots of different choices to choose from. So remember this. And then they have here lots of different templates for different categories. It's amazing. So make sure you check this out. It's so cool. There's all these free available templates for you to use. So if we go back, I want to start off with the Home tab and kind of go through the commands within each tab. And we've kind of talked about the clipboard group. So I feel like you guys know that. But it's really important here. This I use a lot. So when you're creating a PowerPoint and you want to, say, create a new slide, right? You can choose here different slide options. So oftentimes I'll do like a comparison or content with caption. And it's really nice because it makes your PowerPoint more engaging and exciting for the viewers. So make sure you always click on that down arrow. And then whatever slide you're on, you can click on the layout and mix it up and change it up as needed. And those are kind of the two major buttons I focus in on. I don't really use these other buttons. So another thing, if I were to click on the text on one slide, obviously like you learned from the Microsoft Word PowerPoint, I can customize the font, right? Or the text. I can change the font, right? And this drop-down arrow, there's lots of choices. I can change the size of it. So let's say I were to highlight this. I can make it bigger, I can make it smaller, I can bold it, italicize, underline, give a shadow effect to it, do a little strike through. This one you can make the character spacing, you can adjust it as needed. And here you can also mix the case of your text. I can also change the color of my text. It's a different colors to choose from. So it's a little bit about the font group. And just remember too, there's that dialog box to open up and see more functions. And with the paragraph, it's kind of nice to always add bullets to your PowerPoints. It really helps to organize them, or numbered lists. And you can make the text left justified or centered or right justified or justified on both margins. And I can increase the spacing between the text. I can do these, look at text direction, it's kind of crazy. I can rotate it. Woo! Very crazy stuff, right? Align the text. top, middle, bottom. Convert it to SmartArt. So there's lots of styling I can do. And then even with the drawing, right, if I go over to the drawing, I can say, for example, insert a squiggly line, all these other shapes. I can arrange it, arrange my drawings, bring it to the front, push it to the back. I can add effects to my drawings. So it's really cool. But I think I'm going to delete that because it's a little bit too much. So that's a little bit about the Home tab. Now, if you look at Insert, the Insert tab, so this is really nice. So this is where you can insert a new slide. So it's kind of a carryover from the Home tab, or a table, if you have a table of information. I can insert pictures from my computer. I can insert pictures from the internet. I can take a screenshot from my webcam. I can take and insert pictures from my photo albums. All these other shapes too. Right, I can insert all these shapes into my PowerPoint, as well as SmartArt. Sorry, there's a little June bug on my computer. There it goes. So this is really cool, all these different SmartArt graphics that you can insert on your PowerPoint. I can insert charts. Ooh, exciting stuff. And also, a text box is very helpful sometimes. You have to insert like a text box around a picture, headers and footers. Word art, right? I can do more special effects with my text. And if I wanted to, the date and time, slide numbers, equations, even videos or audio files to my PowerPoint to make it more exciting. So there's lots to insert in your PowerPoint. Now, if I look at the design, this is where you can pick. Sorry, I have a June bug in my hair. Here's all the different templates we can pick from to switch up our PowerPoint. So maybe I liked this one instead. And then you can even mess with the coloring. And I can format the background. There's all these different customization options. So just remember, when you're in a program, click around to explore and learn new things. Now, when it comes to transitions, right, this is the transitioning between slides. So let's say if I were to highlight my entire PowerPoint, I could say, okay, I want to transition using a shape like that. So as I go from one slide to the next, you're going to see that shape. Or maybe I want to do the honeycomb. Ooh, that's kind of exciting, right? So this is kind of nice. So when you click from slide to slide, when you're presenting a PowerPoint, you can make it really kind of exciting because there's movement, and people are always attracted to movement when they're watching a PowerPoint. So that's always a nice thing to do, to make sure that you have transitions between your slides. And remember what I did here, I just did Control A to select all my slides, and then I picked a transition. And I can even add in sound effects to my PowerPoint. So if I look at the animations tab, this is kind of nice too. So let's say that I want to have this picture fly in, right? I could have it pick that. You can see how the little picture flied in on my PowerPoint. So this is where, again, you can add movement to your slides to make it more engaging. And you can have, pictures fly in or your text fly in, and they have all these different options to choose from to play around with. So make sure to check that out. And they also have here, I don't really mess with this stuff over here, but just know the animations, that's a good thing to do. Next up, the slideshow. You can make your PowerPoint into a slideshow if you want and put it on a timer so that it'll automatically present itself as you are presenting it. And that's kind of nice for some people who don't want to mess with the technology or mess with the clicker as they're doing their presentation. So that's a nice thing to have available. And if we look at the review, here I can do spell check of my PowerPoint. Make sure to always do that with your documents, right? So there's no misspellings. I can do lookup of anything as needed. I can translate my PowerPoint into different languages, add comments to it. I can compare it to other works. I can ink on it or write on it. So there's lots of different options here. And then if I look at the View tab, so the normal view, this is what we're looking at. I could also look at the outline view, which is nice, or the slide sorter. This one's kind of nice. So if you wanted to move slides around, so once you've created your PowerPoint and you review it, you can say, oh, this slide, it really should be there. It should be before this other slide. So you can rearrange your slides. It's really nice. And then if we look at the notes pages, this is more for instructors to print out, for their presentations. They can print out the PowerPoint with all of their instructor notes, but you can do it too if you're presenting something and you've added notes. So this is basically saying these notes here that you can see under the slide, they'll print out. What you should do, you should print out if you're presenting it, because then you can kind of hold on to it and use it as a reminder to make sure you include everything in your presentation. They also have this reading view. Ooh, very interesting. So it's kind of like we're presenting the PowerPoint. So if I were to escape from that. And then you have here as well the slide master. And this one's kind of nice. So when you make changes to the slide master, it makes changes to all of your slides in your PowerPoint. This is a really important function. And if I were to scroll down, it looks different. But here, there's the master title slide. If I make changes here, it'll make changes to the PowerPoint throughout the master title slides, just to give you an example. So that's a really important thing to remember to do. And then we can always close this and exit out of it and get back to where we were, which was the normal view. And here too, there's the help option for us. And so that kind of wraps it up for PowerPoint. But just remember, with PowerPoint, make sure, on each slide, if you make a PowerPoint presentation, it's not too wordy. There's, lots of visuals with your presentation. You add bullets and numbered lists to organize your content. You can, stylize it with a design. Make sure to add transitions to your slides. Animations have things fly in and fly out. that makes things more exciting.